Hey, what's up everyone? Shadow HB3 here, and I just have one question to ask you guys. Are you ready for some football?
Soccer, or football as most of you may know it as. One sport where all you need is a ball, and 2 cans to act like a goal. It's a lovely thing. Alright guys, welcome to the world of Mario Strikers Charge. This is the LP that I've been wanting to play for quite a while actually. Or rather, I guess I wouldn't call this an LP, since it's not like in the form of an adventure game, but you know what, then again, why not? It should be. I'll consider it a Let's Play, if everybody else probably would in this case. Just a little bit of facts about this game. This is a game I've had in mind on doing since before the beginning of this year, really, just because with the World Cup happening here in less than a month this year, I thought, why not play a soccer game, you know? So I decided on Mario Strikers Charge because all the other games that are out there that would have been just as good games, such as say FIFA, were just not on my mind at the time. This game is a sequel to Super Mario Strikers. It's a game developed by the Canadian game company Next Level Games, of course, as I'm sure you all know. And no surprise here, in all the other big continents, the game is known as Mario Strikers Charge Football, at the very least in Europe and Australia, but most people would consider to call this game the same way. It oddly had a release in South Korea late in 2010, despite having been released about 3 years prior to that. But this game has made some pretty big improvements from the last one in terms of the gameplay itself. Biggest one I would say is that there is much more of an increased strategy with this game as there was in the last game, and even though you can't play it now anymore, online was also a big feature here. But unfortunately, now that the Wi-Fi connection for Nintendo has been shut down as of May 21st of 2014, which at least is the time I've been recording this, it's been about roughly 3 days ago. So no more of that, but it was fun at the time, certainly, if you were big into playing this game, as I certainly was when it came out. So that's enough of why I wanted to play this game. But we won't waste a whole lot of time here. Just kind of briefly run through the other modes here, and then we'll get started. And I'll tell you all what my plans are for this LP. So we have Strikers 101, where, of course, if you are not familiar with how the game's controls are, you can learn the basics of how things work. Options, of course, to change any kind of settings you have. Hall of Fame is basically a section where you get to check out your overall game progress. I've completed every single thing there is to complete as far as unlocking everything goes, with the exception of one thing, which I don't know if I'll be able to get it on this playthrough, but we'll just see. I'll talk more about that later once we get there. Striker challenges, of course, where you get to be put in certain situations. As it says, relive some of the greatest matches in Mario Strikers history. Basically, there's 12 different challenges we'll have to complete, and they get progressively harder as you go through each one. I'll skip this for now, but take a look at Domination Mode. This is the versus of this game. You can play with any one of your friends, and you can do a number of different things in terms of settings as to how to play. Where if you want to play, a time-based game where you have to you have a certain amount of time, or you can play to see who scores a certain number of goals first. It's also pretty cool. And then finally, the Road to the Striker Cup. This is essentially the big main portion of this gameplay, which is all you do is you pick a team out and you go through 3 different cups and look to try to lead your team to victory at the big Striker Cup. There's 3 cups total, and you just pick out a team and you go from there. I'll go into that more here in just a moment, but those are the main modes. For this game, what I plan on doing is I'm planning on playing the Road to the Striker Cup and the Striker Challenges. Just these 2. Really, that's about the best we can do for single player at this point, although you can play Road to the Striker Cup with 4 players total. But I'm going to alternate back and forth in between Road to the Striker Cup and Striker Challenges. So, that said, let's go ahead and get started with Road to the Striker Cup. Now, I was recording a bit of just a little bit to try to test some things out, and when I tried to record last time, I ended up getting my audio desynced with the game, so I'm going to go ahead and start a new cup. Yes, I am so sure. And from here, once we get in here, you see there's different cards and trophies in place. I'll explain what they all represent later, but for now, let's go ahead and choose our captain. And as you can see, there's 12 captains to choose from, 9 of which are available, 12 of which are obtained after beating the respective cups. That being Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, and Petey Piranha. So, captain I choose here will be Daisy. She's a defensive type, and she's been one of my favorites just because I like playing defense. In fact, every character, as you can tell, I'm sure same thing with the last game, they all have their own unique types, as do the sidekicks. Now, I already have my team already in place, so I'm going to go with another defensive player in Dry Bones. Can't believe I almost lost his name. Then I have Birdo for my power. She's going to be pretty much my main striker in this case. And then I have a playmaker in Boo. So I'm basically trying to play for speed and trying to maintain possession of the ball. So I'm expecting in the lower stages, once the game gets harder, for there to be lower scoring games, because I'm not very good at trying to maintain possession of the ball completely with some of the slower characters. But just to give you all an idea, there are, let's see, I think this is the default, but you can change your crew, and I'm gonna have to do that again. But here's what I wanted to show you. Here's the 8 sidekicks you can choose from. They added 4 more on here, and they all have their respective typings as well. I'll go ahead and zoom out so you can see the typings for every single character. There's 5 different typings in all, and they go from defensive. If we look at from a power striking perspective, it goes from defensive, then to playmaker, then to balance, then offensive, and then power are the different types. Alright, so where's Birdo at? Alright, here we go. So my team's basically, like I said, going to be primarily about defense, but I'm going to try to do the best we can. Now, with the Road to the Striker Cup, you can choose 1 or 2 different modes. You can either go normal or extreme. If you go extreme, then of course you're going to have to deal with tough opponents right off the bat. If you go normal, then at least you'll get to work your way into these matches, and then of course as you play on, go from cup to cup, then the cups get harder. But we're going to stick with normal because I haven't played this game in forever, so we're going to try our first cup here, which is going to be the Fire Cup. And I love how they have the striker times here. I think that's really cool. So see, Daisy's going to try her luck at the Fire Cup. Let's go ahead and click more and find out the idea of this cup. So looks like yep, that's correct. Flower of the Strikers League looks to begin the season with Fire Cup victory. So there you go. There's the big headlines regarding Daisy. Alright, so all these trophies that I've unlocked, you would unlock if you hadn't played this game. I'll tell you how you unlock them. But here are the rules. So basically in this cup, you're going to have to play in a table. It's going to be 4 teams total, so you play each team twice, so there will be a total of 6 matches. And then whoever the teams with the top points are at the end of those 6 matches, then they play each other in an elimination game. Whoever wins that game wins the cup. So that, you can see right here, is going to be tracking our point totals. Like I said before, basically the way how this is set up, if you all follow soccer, goes by table settings, how to figure out how things are going to be in terms of standing. So if you win, you get 3 points total. You lose, you get no points. You lose in sudden death, which this game has. Then you only get a point, but at least that's better than not getting a point at all. The GF stands for goals for, so how many goals you score, and then versus goals allowed. These also factor into the tiebreaker too. Should it get to be a point where there needs to be a tiebreaker decided, and these also factor into the trophies that you see or that you saw here. So keep that in mind. We'll get into those, of course, once I'll show you how you go about getting those. So once we get to that, but that said, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start off away, and we're going to start off in Galactic Stadium. I think this was. I'm not good at remembering the stadiums itself. There are 17 total. They added 10 new stadiums, and they also brought back the 7 old stadiums. I think this is the Classic Stadium from Super Mario Strikers, so there's no big hazards to have to worry about here, just the electric fence that surrounds the playing field, as with in general. So we'll start off with the ball first. Now the computers, I'll tell you right now, they're going to be pretty simple to deal with here, so I'm not going to sweat too much here, so I'll get a chance to explain a couple of things. And I know I'm going to be a little sloppy here at first, but we'll see how things go. So the idea, try to get the ball charged as much as you can by passing. You can see they use a metallic ball here, and so the ball will start off a regular dark color, but as you pass it more, and if you charge it more, then it will glow. And the more it glows, then the more accurate the shot will be, and the more chance you have of getting the ball into the net. So you want to try to make it a habit out of passing to yourself as fast as you can, keep the ball away, and then give yourself a chance to give yourself a good shot for the goal. So I'm going to do that. Now the times that I've been hit, of course, as you all know if you play this game, you do still get items should you get hit. And there I just did a little deke, which is unique for Daisy. And for people of her type, defensive types, there's just her and Waluigi, of course, but they have the knack of being able to really kind of freeze the opponent, or at least teleport with their dekes. So, and that also the distance they travel with their dinks is reflective on how the ball's charged. So the more the ball's charged, the further their dekes will go. Oh, I didn't realize Donkey Kong had a special. Okay. So let's go ahead and explain items real fast. Items, if you at least get an accurate, if you shoot a fully charged shot, you'll get an item. You'll also get an item, or give up an item. Or what am I trying to say? You will get an item if an opponent rams you without the ball long enough. If you don't have the ball long enough, you get rammed, you'll automatically get an item. You can only hold up to 2 items at one time, and of course you can use them, try to give yourself a better chance of getting into a position where you can do one of 2 things: charge up the ball or make a shot on goal. Not much to it right there. Let's see if we can try to show off a couple of other things here in this first match, although we've got about a minute to go. So I think, just if I remember correctly, these matches are going to be about 3 minutes long, and then after 3 minutes, if the game's still tied, then you go into sudden death, and then whoever scores in sudden death first wins. It's not much to it, I would say. But captains and sidekicks. This time around, there's a little bit more difference in terms of what captains and sidekicks can do. Captains have the ability to not only net in this case, it wouldn't be a super strike anymore. In this case, they have what's called a mega strike, and so you can fire anywhere from 3 to 6 shots on the frame to the goalie, and then the goalie, of course, will have to try to stop as many of them as they can and not allow them to get into the net. But if I can get a chance to, I'm going to try to show it if I can, because I know once we get later into this game, I'm going to have a hard time doing so anyway. So let's see if I can do it here. All right. So you have 2 meters you have to worry about. First meter, when you click it, sets how many balls you're going to kick, and then the next one also, once you set that, it determines the speed of the balls. So I was able to fire 6 shots, and the critter is only able to stop 2 of them. And you don't expect to... You'll probably be able to get at least, if you do the full 6 shots, you'll of course get 4 to 6 goals scored instantly. But, so that's that. That's one thing. And then of course the other thing I'll have to mention, maybe when we play the second match here, I'm thinking what I'll do also is just play at least 2 matches per video at the very least. Or at least I'll do it for this video. We took a little bit of time with the introduction, so... and that's my goal for right now, is I'll play at least 2 matches per video, and then we'll go from there, because I want to keep the videos roughly around 20 minutes if we can. So after the game's over, I fast-forwarded it just then, but they have highlights, of course, little highlight reel showing the top 3 moments of the match, and then they'll show you the stats, as you can see. So we did a good job of dominating just about every aspect of the game. I didn't fire a skill shot yet, but I didn't get a chance to talk about that, so maybe I will for this match. I'll see if I can get to talking about skill shots. But now, as you can see, unlike the first game, Super Mario Strikers, you actually can customize the number of people you have, or what sidekicks you have, rather than just having one set of set of particular sidekicks. Alright, so that said, let's go ahead and get our second match underway. So we're playing Yoshi right now. Still the road team, although it doesn't really matter. There's no real home field advantage, per se. It would be nice if the captains actually had their own home fields to choose from, but they didn't put that in, which I kind of was surprised, but oh well. Oh, and okay, this is the gimmick one. Yeah, this is, I think, the Crystal Palace, I believe is the name of this. I don't remember. I think it is called the Crystal Palace, but this is one of those gimmicks where, if I'm not mistaken, this one you have to worry about, and I could be wrong, right? I'm gonna feel so dumb once I look at the name of the field, and I'm gonna remember, I'm like, oh wait a second, this one doesn't have any gimmicks. I thought Dry Bones was gonna be faster than this. Okay, let's see if I can show a skill shot. Alright, so I didn't get, I was gonna try to deke. Use Birdo's awesome deke, which allows her to spin. Wow. Man, not even terrible. I just allowed Toad to waltz down Broadway and score an easy goal right there. Okay, let's try that again. Yoshi has skill. Okay, so in order to do a skill shot, all you have to do, basically, with any sidekick, hold the charge to the fullest. And if these guys will not stop blocking my shots, I swear. All right, here we go. So, but yeah, you hold the shot button down until it fully charges up. It'll fire on its own, and then rocket a shot towards the goalie. And each shot for each sidekick has a different effect depending on the character you have and what type they are. For Birdo, her shot is as a power type. It's automatic. If it's not blocked by any of the opponent's teammates, then it's an automatic goal. Yoshi was doing a good job of avoiding my... oh, I almost disrupted that ball. Okay, there you go, a goal. And that's the other thing. So captains, in addition to being able to net a Mega Strike, they have a super ability they can use whenever they get it. And when they get it is pretty random, but those are also, in effect, those are also different as well. Oh, here we go. Here's the gimmick for... I knew there was a gimmick for this board. I totally forgot exactly what it was. Come on, get it, goalie. Can I knock you guys out of the way? No, I can't. Alright. Yeah, they have a super ability that they can use, which can have an effect on the field of what they decide to do, or how the ball is played, and how they can go about getting the goal. And I keep turning the ball over. I don't think I've done a good job of having possession of the ball much in this game. I try to make some passes here. Oh, but man, I'm like swinging and missing here with my slide tackles. I try not to make it a habit of ramming into people just because I feel like I set myself up more often than not for anything bad to happen. Here we go. I had a shot. Should have used a deke. Am I seriously only going to score 2 goals in here? Oh, no you don't. Alright, let's try to get something here. Let's try to get a Mega Strike goal. Almost got it perfect. You can get in the orange on that second marker, then if you're having to play against, if you're playing against a human, then they're gonna have a hard time. Unless they play this game a lot, and then surely they'll probably be good enough to stop every single one. But that Mega Strike goal, that'll give us plenty of breathing room now, so I don't expect us to tie this game. And again, I had a chance to use my deke here. Let's see if I can. Couldn't stop him in time. Okay, well, it's okay, because you guys get a chance to see me try to stop some goals. So, whenever you're having to deal with somebody else's Mega Strike, you take over as the goalie, and depending on the number of balls that come your way, you have to stop them. So you have to basically go. Unfortunately, I allowed one, but I mean, thankfully it wasn't hit too hard. I should have really been able to stop all 4, but I'm not very good, at least trying to stop goals whenever it's a Mega Strike. But that's okay, I don't care about that. All I care about is getting the win, which we did. So right now we're a perfect 2-0 after 2 matches. Alright, yeah, I didn't do quite as good of a job of dominating possession of the ball, but at least got the important stat that matters, and that's the number of goals scored. Alright, so with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and cut it here once we get back to the main screen here, since it's been over 20 minutes already. But I hope you guys like what you've seen so far in this game. I think things will really ramp up, of course, once we get through this cup first, but for now, this is good for me because I get a chance to at least play the game enough times just to kind of get my feel for the game again. But we'll continue on in the next video with our third match of the Fire Cup against Waluigi. Get 2 defensive pairings, or 2 defensive type of players going up against each other. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, guys, if you like this video, then please do subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and tell me how much you all enjoy what you see. And until then, I will see you all next time. Stay perky, okay? Take care.